In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of Essence makeup, some new products, some old products from Essence, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So I did just want to update you guys before we jump into reviewing all these products that if you missed it, I did do a post on the community tab on my YouTube page letting you guys know that I did decide that I am going to be going back to posting just 3 days a week. So maybe every once in a while I might post 5 videos or 4 videos in the week, but just know that I will be posting 3 videos. That will be my schedule. I'm going to do another community post letting you know which days of the week I am going to be posting my videos. So just be on the lookout for that. And all of these Essence products that I am using today, this is going to be a first impression. I have not used any of these products before. I will be letting you know later in the month, like in my beauty favorites video, I will let you know my full thoughts on these products after I've been using them for the month of February. So, but anyway, let's just go ahead and get into this review. If I sound a little nasally, I'm getting a little sick. Like I told you guys last week, Josh was sick and now I feel like I'm catching whatever he had. I don't feel that bad. I'm just like a little congested and my throat's a little scratchy, and he's finally starting to get back to normal. But yeah, I purchased all of these Essence items off of Ulta. Some of the items are new and some items have been in Essence like makeup line for a little while. And I did get some of these items on sale. I'm not for sure if they're still on sale by the time this video goes up on Ulta's website. But the first item that I picked up is their Poreless Partner Primer, mattifying and blurring. And it has niacinamide. And it claims that it won't clog pores. So this is originally priced $4.99 on Ulta's website, and I got it for $3.49. I've been wanting to pick up some primers to help with minimizing pores, and so when I saw this one, was very interested in it. It has a nice, just kind of light fruity scent. It feels really moisturizing. It doesn't feel like a typical pore filling primer like the Benefit Professional or the Smashbox Photo Finish or like Maybelline Baby Skin, if any of you guys remember those types of pore filling primers. And Essence actually had a couple of new primers that were pore minimizing, but unfortunately Ulta was sold out of those primers, so I could not pick them up, but I'll put some images on the screen. So maybe if they're back in stock on Ulta and you're interested, maybe you could pick them up. Yeah, that felt really nice going on the skin. I mean, it feels maybe like slightly tacky, but it just feels like it's really absorbing into the skin. It feels like it's really kind of drying down. The next item that I picked up is the Keep Me Covered Long Lasting Foundation. And, you know, it's like when you're looking online trying to figure out your shade, I just did the best that I could. This might be a little too light, but I ended up picking shade 30 Fair, which this was supposed to be like a fair neutral shade. Comes with a pump. And this is supposed to be transfer and waterproof. So I'm kind of thinking this might be sort of like my Revlon Color Stay foundation, possibly. It's very runny. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but this is the first time that I'm using these makeup items. It has maybe a slight perfumey sort of fragrance, but it's very, very light, not really too noticeable. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my nose. Like this almost kind of reminds me of the consistency of the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear foundation. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Seems like it's drying really fast, so it seems like it might be a type of foundation that you have to work fast with. And I know that this foundation from Essence is not a new product. Essence has had this in their line for a little while. Just gonna go ahead and blend that out here on the skin. Like for me, I would consider this to have a little bit more of a yellow undertone than a neutral. but it's not too yellow. It does dry down really quick, much faster than like Revlon Color Stay. This is definitely a foundation that you have to work in sections and work kind of fast with. I also have some sleep lines on my face right there. Just realized. And it is a little light on me, but I know by the time I like bronze up and everything, it should probably work okay. This definitely feels like a very matte foundation, like even more matte than my Revlon Color Stay, which I don't really consider Revlon Color Stay a extremely matte foundation. It's more of a skin finish foundation. A little hard to blend around my nose and get into the cracks like before it starts drying down. And if you had really dry skin, this would definitely accentuate that. But coverage wise, it's covering really well. And I definitely don't feel like it emphasizes pores because it is so mattifying. I'm gonna take whatever's kind of left and just kind of go around to see if it builds okay. Yeah, it seems like it builds fine. I mean, you probably couldn't go in with like a bunch of layers. It might end up looking a little bit cakey since it is a bit more on the matte, since it is on the matte side. So that's what the foundation looks like. I mean, I definitely like the way it looks. I'm kind of a little bit more into matte foundations right now. So, like I said, if you have extremely dry skin, don't think you would be into this. The next item that I picked up is the Essence Bright Eyes Under Eye Stick. And I'm thinking that this might be a newer product. And also, I totally forgot to mention about the foundation. But the foundation, the Keep Me Covered foundation, is normally priced at $6.99. And I got it on sale for $4.89. So this would be the most affordable foundation in my collection so far. My next to this is the Believe Beauty Foundation, which is $5.50 at Dollar General. So we'll see how I feel about it. Okay, yeah, this Bright Eyes Under Eye Stick is a newer product from Essence. I did swatch this yesterday just to see how it felt and everything, and it feels really creamy. So we'll see how it feels on the under eyes. I'm just gonna, I guess, kind of dot it under there maybe, or maybe I can kind of swipe it. Or it might have been better for me to use my finger on the wand. That might have been the better way to go in with it. Because going in with the stick, that didn't seem like the best option. I feel like this product might need to warm up on your finger a little bit. Let's do that. Yeah, the best way to apply this is to definitely put your finger there on the stick and warm it up. And then tap it underneath your eye. Don't try to go in directly with the stick. That was a mistake. I don't know if y'all can see, but that is definitely highlighting dry areas underneath of my eye. It's like I also didn't apply under eye cream this morning, so that could be part of the issue. So on this other eye, I'm going to apply some eye cream. So I'm just going to go in with my Brighten and Glow First Aid Beauty eye cream. And I'm just going to moisturize this eye over here before I go in with that stick, see if that helps. So I'm getting some on my finger here. And I'm just going to tap it here underneath the eye. Okay, yeah, that definitely helped this product to moisturize underneath the eyes. I mean, I should have known that anyway. That kind of messed the foundation up a little bit, adding the moisturizer on top of that. And then I picked up their Keep Me Covered Concealer. And the shade that I ended up picking up in this is in 20 Fair. The concealer is priced $4.99 on Ulta's website, and I got it for $3.49. I'm just gonna do a little bit of the concealer at first. Don't want to go too overboard. It's like very important for me to not neglect under eye moisturizer before doing my concealer and all of that. I'm 39 and yeah, my under eyes have a tendency to get a little bit dry, especially like this time of the year. So never underestimate a good under eye moisturizer. And I still need to go and pick up some of the ones that you guys recommended to me. But I have a few that I got from First Aid Beauty that I've been using, and I've been liking them pretty good. Like that one that I just showed you guys, this brightening glow eye cream. This one's really good. And I also got like, I think it's like moisturizing or hydrating under eye cream from First Aid Beauty that I've really been enjoying as well. Both of those seem to be really good. I'm just adding a little bit more concealer. I would say like the only thing I'm not liking about the foundation so far is I can still smell it. I'm just going to add some concealer down my nose here. I do think that like the concealer has a little bit more of a glow to it than the foundation does. With this foundation, if you are a really like not oily type of person, like I could get away with not setting this foundation because it is very matte, but I did pick up the Keep Me Covered powder, like longwear powder, and I think this is actually newer, even though they've had the Keep Me Covered line out for a little while, because when I go to Essence website, it's in the section of new products. On Ulta's website, this retails for $5.99, and I got it on sale for $4.19. So, and I picked the shade up in 10 Fair. So I'm just going to use my flat top e.l.f. powder brush, and I'm just going to use that to set everything. And I know that my face might be looking a little light right now, but I know once I use the bronzer, it should even everything out. Just taking a little bit more of that powder on my sponge, just getting it on the tip of the sponge and just using that to set the under eye area. I'm going to get this foundation off of my lips here. Have you guys used anything from Essence? And what are some of your favorite Essence products? Like the few things that I have from Essence I really like. Their baked blushes, their baked highlights, like their pure nude baked highlight and their pure nude baked blushes. I love those. I know a lot of people like their Lash Princess mascara. I have used that in the past and I do like it. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite mascara, but it's a nice one. I think there was another one that was like I Heart Extreme Volume or something like that. It's like comes in a hot pink tube with like black writing. I really enjoyed that mascara if you like a very volumized, like thickening type of mascara. Before I started using lash growth serums and my lashes were shorter, I really enjoyed that I Heart Extreme Volume mascara. So I'd be curious to know if I would like it now that my lashes are longer and thicker. Okay, the next thing that I picked up is the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. And this is supposed to be in the universal shade. I got this for $3.99 from Ulta. And I don't think this is a new product. I think they've had this for a little while. So I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyelids so this can be drying down before I go in with the eyeshadow. You all know that's the way that I go about doing my eye primers. I just find that if I put my eye primers on first, let it dry down before I go in with my eyeshadow blends a lot better and doesn't get patchy. So felt really nice going on. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of product in this little tube. Okay, yeah, this does have slightly a little bit more than my e.l.f. eyelid primer. This has 0.10 fluid ounces. This has 0.16. And then my Hard Candy Longwear eyeshadow primer has 0.46. So this one definitely has the most primer in it, opposed to these two. I do really like the e.l.f. primer. I like how it adds a bit of coverage where I mean, the hard candy one does add a little bit of coverage. This one did not add any extra coverage. This was just like a clear eyeshadow primer. So the next new thing is the Essence Juicy Bomb Shiny Lip Gloss. And they have, I believe, 4 or 5 different colors in this. Yeah, 6 different shades. And the shade that I picked up is Poppin' Pomegranate, which looked like one of their darker, like brighter colors. This is $2.99. Okay, it feels really nice and juicy. It has a nice fruity like scent and taste. It feels very much like a lip oil. I mean, maybe some of the other ones have like more of a pigment in them to give them some more color, but this is a very sheer wash of color, just like a sheer balm. This is the only thing that's not an Essence product that I'm using, these 2 things for eyebrows, but I did see that LA Girl had these new brow products on Ulta's website. And I picked up the LA Girl Brow Perfect Extreme Hold Styling Gel, and this is in clear. And then I also picked up their Brow Ink Micro Brush Detailer Pen, and this is in the shade Soft Brown. I did compare this pen yesterday to that Maybelline Build-A-Brow, and the shade is very, very similar to that. It looked basically like the same color. This one comes like with a little spoolie on the opposite end instead of a gel. So the Maybelline one does come with that. I don't remember how much I paid for the Maybelline one, but I feel like they were probably comparable in price. So I'm just gonna go in and lightly fill in some gaps that I have in my brows. I do really enjoy these brow pens. Like, I've really enjoyed the Maybelline one, but it does take a little bit more like focus and just like a light hand when applying this. You don't want to go in like too heavily, especially if you want it to look more natural. But it's transferring really well. It feels very similar to the Maybelline one. It's like, as much as I do really love these micro brow pen things, I will say for myself, I've been more into brow powders recently, just because they're so fast and easy. Now let's go in with the brow gel. This is what the little container looks like, and the brush looks like this. It's got like a little spiky ends. I'm just gonna take this little spiky part, kind of push up the eyebrow hairs. It doesn't feel super wet like my e.l.f. clear brow gel. This does, however, feel like the type of brow gel that, like, once you brush them through, probably don't want to go back through them again, or it might make it like flake. So I think today I'm not going to go back through my brows. We're just going to do this one brush through and let that be it. I really liked those brow products. I feel like the brow gel is holding my brows in place really nicely, and this pen was easy to use. I feel like it might have been even easier to use than the Build-A-Brow because it is like thinner. It's easier to like hold. And I mean, the Build-A-Brow pen isn't like super thick, but see how this one's thicker? And I feel that it was just like easier to like hold and really get in there. I mean, I still enjoy the Build a Brow, but something about this one seemed slightly easier to use. My under eye area does look like it's creasing a little bit, and I don't know if that's the under eye brightener or the concealer itself, but it's kind of settling into my fine lines there. This was probably the product that I was most excited to pick up, but it's their Bloom Baby Bloom, and this is a new palette. It has eyeshadows up top, and then it has your highlight, blush, and bronzer here at the bottom. I just really liked the concept of this, that it was like an all-in-one face palette here. I figured you could also use the bronzer or really any of these shades for eyeshadows as well as, you know, your face products. So this here was $8.99, which I think that's a great deal to get all these different products. So I'm going to go in first, I think, with the face products. I have such high hopes for this, so I really hope that I like it. I'm going to go in with the bronzer shade first. I believe they had maybe another one of these like in a different shade. They did have like a few other palettes, like they had 2 other eyeshadow palettes that looked really cute, and I did think about maybe purchasing one of those because I don't have any Essence eyeshadow palettes. Like I love the Essence Melted Chrome single eyeshadows, which they no longer make. So okay, that's blended out really nice. I have like a cat here. And it is a tad powdery, like it does have some kick up whenever you're blending, putting your brush in the product. I was trying to see if it had any bit of sheen to it. It does look like it is a fully matte bronzer. I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush. I'll have my tools that I'm using linked down below in the order that I'm using them, if you're curious, if I don't mention, you know, what I'm using exactly. And I will have all these Essence products listed and linked down below if you want to go and check those out. I really like the way that that's blended out. I like the shade on it. It is a little bit warmer, but I feel like it's not too warm. And then I'm going in with like a larger powder brush, and I'm gonna bronze up around the hairline. But yeah, I think that this little palette would be great, like a great everyday palette to just like pull out and have all of your products in one palette. It looks like it would probably be like a great traveling little palette to take with you when you're traveling. I'm like trying to warm my face up a little bit since that foundation was like a little bit too light. Just taking a little bit here on my jawline area, on my chin. Yeah, I think if I was to go back in time, I would have probably gotten like the step up on the foundation in neutral and the step up on the concealer too. I think both are just slightly a little bit too light for me. And I feel like the lightness of the concealer is just like highlighting all of the things that you don't want highlighted on your under eye area. So the blush definitely has a little bit of a satin finish in it. It's like a warmer mauve pink color, or like a warmer peachy pink. Okay, yeah, I really like the blush. I really like the bronzer. So I don't know if you can see on the blush like how it has just like a slight kind of sheen. So that's really nice. Now I'm going to go in with the highlights. Yeah, it doesn't look too like overly highlighted, just like a nice kind of sheen effect. I don't feel like it's emphasizing pore or textures. It looks really nice on the skin. Yeah, I think so far this little palette is definitely worth it. This looks like a good transition shade in the palette, so I'm just going to grab some of that on my Morphe M441, And I'm just going to blend that in the crease. And I'm going to put that at the top of the crease. It's like more of just like a cream shadow. Just to blend out the edge of that. For the brow bone highlight, we're going to use the highlight shade. You have like these two type of shimmery colors. So like this is lighter, this one's like the more bronzy shade. First I'm going to go in with the lighter one, and I'm just going to put that here on the first part of the eyelid. Then I'm going to get some of the deeper bronze. Tap that out here. And then I'm going to get some of this dark matte brown, and I'm going to use that in the very outer V. I'm going to get some more of that color on the tip of my Morphe M506. I'm just going to pull it up. Take it over. Seems fairly pigmented, but seems to be blending out well. I mean, all of these eyeshadows are blending out well. They have good pigmentation. Probably like the only thing to note is that all of the shades in here do have some kick up, but I don't find that that affects the way that they blend or anything like that. And then I'm going to take some more of the bronzer shade, and I'm going to blend the edge of the darker shadow out. So this is more of a warm tone palette for sure. That creates like a really pretty, a little bit more smoky everyday eye, but I think if you wanted something more subtle, you could just use either one of these shades as like one and done, or like just pop some of that in the crease and then one of those shades on the lid and you would be good to go. And then I'm going to take a bit more of the dark brown on a pencil brush, and I'm just going to run some of this on the lower lash line. Hopefully this will kind of camouflage some of my creasing from the concealer. I really like this eye look. It just created a nice bronzy eye, and I really like the bronzer and the blush. So this palette is a win for me. Really enjoy this. And the last things that I have from Essence is a setting spray and some mascaras. So this is their Fix and Last 18-hour setting spray, and I don't believe that this is a new product. I think they've had this in their line for a little while. This is normally $4.99 at Ulta, and I got it for $3.49. And this is supposed to be like a mattifying and waterproof setting spray. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mist that. Let me get some going first. There we go. I mean, that sprayer seemed not quite as fine of a mist as like my Urban Decay All Nighter makeup setting spray. It does have a slight fragrance, but doesn't seem too overpowering. And it doesn't look like it's making my foundations look too, or my foundation look too matte. So I was a little bit concerned about that because I don't want to look too overly matte, especially with like that matte foundation. But after using that spray, I do think that it added a little bit more of a natural finish to like my foundation and everything. I bought 2 different mascaras, so I'm only going to use one right now, and then I'll use the other one later. So I'm just going to curl my lashes up first with my Tarte eyelash curler. And Essence has like a few new mascaras right now This one here, the Bye Bye Panda Eyes, I believe is supposed to be a tubing mascara. This is newer, but it's not super new. The bottle on it is like very interesting, and it has a little brush like this, like a natural bristled type of brush. So I'm not going to use this mascara today. I will use this in another video this week. But I also picked up the Lash Without Limits in the brown shade. So this is one of the newest mascaras that they have. And then they also have like a Lash Princess mascara that's also in a brown color. This has a brush very similar to like the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational mascara. And you guys know that that is my all-time favorite, or one of my all-time favorite mascaras. So I wanted to get this one, you know, just because I love the Maybelline one so much, just to see how similar they are. And also, I wanted to compare the different brown shades. So the one over here is the Essence one, and then this one over here is the Maybelline True Brown. So the Essence mascara does look a little bit more like a lighter brown shade. So I'm curious to see what I'm going to think about this mascara. So let's go ahead and start to apply this. While I still enjoy my brown mascaras, I have been slowly getting back into like wearing black mascaras more often. I mean, the way that this feels and looks on my lashes so far is very similar to that Maybelline mascara. So I think that this is very comparable to that. This is definitely more affordable. This mascara was $4.99 from Ulta, where I'm pretty sure that Maybelline mascara is close to $10. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, especially from Ulta, it's probably close to 10. Maybe if you get it at like Walmart or something, the Maybelline mascara is probably closer to $7 or $8. I'll have to put the prices of everything in the video because I can't really remember off the top of my head. I think this looks even more brown than the Maybelline True Brown. Okay, I really like that mascara. It looks very nice on the lashes. I definitely think it looks brown and it doesn't look black. So this is another win for me. Really, really like this. And you can tell that it does look like they're trying to dupe this Maybelline mascara. Like, the packaging is like the same sort of pinky color. It's that same kind of slim design. So, and also like Lash Without Limits, Sky High. Like, I don't know. I do think they are trying to dupe this Maybelline mascara. So that's very interesting to see a brand actually try to dupe a slightly more expensive and popular drugstore brand. You usually don't see that too much. You usually see drugstore brands duping high-end brands. But it's like now that some drugstore items are getting more in the mid-price range, closer to like the lower high-end price, that maybe we're going to start seeing some more affordable drugstore brands like Essence start to possibly dupe some of those mid-range drugstore products. So that's very interesting. Let me know what other brand I should do like a full face of. I'm thinking maybe next I'll do Catrice, because I don't have a lot of Catrice products, but the products I do have I really enjoy. So let me know if you would like to see that. Let me know any other video requests that you have down in the comments. I think my very favorite things from today is the Bloom Baby Bloom palette and the mascara. I'm going to have to use some of the other products a little bit more to let you know what I think. I mean, the foundation is not horrible, especially if you like a more matte foundation. I'm not sure about the concealer or the under eye brightener quite yet, or the primer. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'm going to start at the very end of the month when I talk about my monthly favorites. I'm going to do mini reviews on any of the new products that I picked up over the month to let you know if I would recommend to pick products up or if I would recommend that you just pass on the product. But I really enjoyed filming this for you guys today. If you did enjoy this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know to film more one brand tutorials, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with